Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Hi Calvary, Amber here, and I have a question for you today. Do you ever feel tired or overly exhausted or burnt out? Maybe it's a season in your life, or maybe it's every single day you feel exhausted. I know I've had seasons in my life where I feel exhausted and just can't do anything. And usually we feel that way because we haven't had enough rest. And we need both spiritual and physical rest. God knew that, and that's why He created the Sabbath for us, to take a rest. And so we're going to read about that today in Matthew 2, starting in verse 23. It says, "One Sabbath, He was going through the grain fields, and as they made their way, His disciples began to pluck heads of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to Him, 'Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath?' And Jesus said to them, 'The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath.'" See, God had originally set up the Sabbath as a day of rest for the people of Israel. It was a day of physical rest where they didn't have to go out and work on that day, but it was also spiritual rest to reflect and spend time with God, because He knew that we need both physical and spiritual rest. But the Pharisees had set up all these extra man-made rules about what you could or couldn't do on the Sabbath. They added to the rules of God. And Jesus is saying, no, we don't need to add extra rules to what God has given us, because His word is perfect the way it is. And we don't have to be legalistic about the Sabbath, because God gave us the Sabbath as a way to bless us and as a way to refresh us, because He knew we needed rest physically and spiritually. And our culture says to do the complete opposite. They say we need to hustle and go 100% all of the time and grind, and it's exhausting, and it is counterintuitive to what God says, because God tells us in the Psalms to be still and know that He is God. And so if you are feeling exhausted, overrun, burnt out, anxious, uneasy, or restless, can I encourage you to take a Sabbath, take a day and rest. And I'm not talking about sitting on the couch and watching Netflix all day, because we know that that isn't beneficial to us. But I'm saying do something that is restorative and helpful, whether that's spending time with your family and playing a game, or going on a walk, or watching the sunset. Do something that refreshes you. But most importantly, spend time with Jesus. Have conversation with Him. Read His word to get to know Him, and let Him breathe life into your soul. So I pray that you would choose to take a Sabbath and rest this week. Have a great day.